A warm welcome to all. I am R.HariPriya, Assistant Professor, Department of Costume Design and Fashion. So, I am here to give a lecture video on bleaching. So, what is bleaching? So, first we are going to see what is bleaching and what are all the process included in the bleaching, why we are doing the bleaching process. So, what is textile bleaching? A bleaching is a chemical process that removes the natural color, impurities and pigments from the textile fibers. This essential preparatory treatment transforms raw of white fabrics into pristine white materials ready for further processing. So, mainly the bleaching is done to whitening the fabrics and it is done to remove the natural color, that is if we are taking a cotton fibers directly, so it will having a pale yellowish color in that, it is directly its original color of the cotton. So, for further processing or dyeing, what are all the treatments we needed for dyeing or printing, what are all the process we need, we have to first pre-treat the fabric. So, the bleaching is a main step in that. So, it removes the natural color of the textile fibers and it removes the impurities which is stayed in that fibers or fabrics, it has been removed, but it is a major process. So, the process enhances three critical properties. So, it includes three main characteristics. While if we are doing the bleaching, we will have three main majority priority to that fabrics. So, first one is whiteness for the visual appeal. So, it gives a pure white to the fabric, it removes the directly removes the original color of the fiber or a fabric, so that we can proceed with what are all the treatments we need to do, that is dyeing, printing, whatever. So, next one is brightness for the color vibrance. If it is pure white, it seems to be in a pure white color, then we can proceed which color we need to dye. So, based on our preference and our ideology, we can go on with the dyeing process, or if we need to print a design on it, we can proceed with the color what we prefer. So, it is a main concept of brightness of the color vibrance and absorbency for improved dye uptake during the subsequent dyeing and printing operations. If we are doing with some other treatments, that is dyeing or any other finishes applying or printing, whatever we need, we have to improve the absorbency capacity of the fiber or a fabric or a yarn, so that the dye will penetrate into the fiber, so it will give a bright color, or if it gives a life for the dye, so that it will seems to be in a bright view. So, those three concepts are the main ideology of the bleaching. So, the key objectives of the bleaching. So, first one is remove the impurities. What are all the impurities should be impurities in the fibers or fabrics, that has to be removed. Enhance the whiteness, increase the absorbency, prepare for the finishing. The finishing in name, it will give different ideas, that is if we are going with some other particular finishes based on the end use of the fabric, we have to consider those bleaching process for that chemical ideologies. If we are going with some other antibacterial, antimicrobial, any other finishes, we have to consider the bleaching process based on the chemicals used for viewing. That is, if we are going with removing impurities, we have to check with the chemicals what we are going. So, main concept, that is remove the impurities, enhance the whiteness, increase the absorbency, prepare for the finishing. These concepts are mainly done for bleaching. Next one is two primary bleaching methods. So, there are two types, one is oxidative and another one is reductive. So, mainly we are doing with hydrogen peroxide, sodium hydrochloride, sodium hypochlorite, sodium chloride, those things are mainly for oxidative. The most common approach uses the oxidizing agents, that is the oxidizing agent means it break down the colored compounds through the oxygen transfer reactions. This is somewhat very chemically done, but mainly this is done for oxidative bleaching is done for cotton, linen, rayon and most cellulosic fibers. Cellulosic means it is a natural fibers directly from the plant parts, that is stem, leaf, what are all the parts, it is called a cellulosic fiber. So, this oxidative bleaching is done for cellulosic fibers. Reductive bleaching, the gentler method employs the reducing agents that removes the oxygen from the colored molecules, converting them into the colorless forms. So mainly this is done for sodium, done with sodium hydrosulfide, sodium formaldehyde. Mainly this bleaching is done for the synthetic fibers and the protein fibers. The protein fiber in named animal fibers, that is wool, silk, those things are animal fibers and it is a protein content fibers. So we have to go with reductive bleaching for improve the color of the fabrics, and mainly for synthetic fibers also. Next one is common bleaching agents. So what are the bleaching agent is used for which fiber, which is suitable for which agent is suitable for which fiber. So sodium peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2, it is an oxidative bleaching type. It is mainly gone with cellulosic fiber, that is cotton, linen, rayon, modal fibers. Next is sodium hypochlorite, it is an oxidative, it is mainly done with cotton alone. Industrial use only, that is if it is not comes under apparel, it is an industrial one. Next one is sodium chlorite, it is an oxidative. Synthetic fibers and polyester blends, that is mixed of polyesters, we can go on with this one. Next one is sodium hydrosulfide, it is a reductive one, we can go with animal fibers. This is the main concept of common bleaching agents. Next one is the bleaching process. It is the main laboratory type only. So first we have to prepare the fabrics. The fabric has been taken and undergone with scouring. Scouring is removing the impurities in the fiber, that is oil, wax or any other surface related one should be removed from the fabrics. That is the main concept of preparation. Next is bleaching treatment. Materials is immersed in a padded with appropriate bleaching solution under controlled temperature and pH condition. So what is the water level, what are all the chemicals and salt we needed, what is the temperature needed for the treatment. So we have to check both with those things. Next is neutralization. Residual chemicals are neutralized using acids, that is acetic acid is mainly used to neutralizing this one. And next one is last step is washing and drying. Multiple rinse remove all chemicals residues followed by controlled dyeing to achieve the final standard. So we have to do, after doing this chemical process, we have to washes has to be multiple, so that only the proper chemical has been removed. So the critical factor affecting the bleaching results. So what are all the result it is affecting that one? First one is the chemical concentration. So if it the agent is having, the chemical agents is having somewhat very tough concentration, it is affects the fabric. Next one is temperature and time. If the high temperature is there for a long time, it will reduce the quality of the fabric, so that we have to maintain proper standard timing and temperature. Then pH level control. If we are going with acids and alkalis, we have to maintain the proper pH level to give a proper to get a proper bleaching one. Next one is fiber characteristics. If we are going with natural fibers, it is having very few tough characters, but it is very soft in nature. But if we are going with chemicals, that is synthetic fibers, it is having somewhat different characters. So based on the fiber characteristics, we have to select the chemical and we have to use the level of chemicals in that. Next one is stabilizer and activities. If we are using some neutralizing agents or some other salts to make somewhat unique and make somewhat good results, we have to check with that, then only we will have a proper outcome, or else it will also damage the fabrics. So next one is what are all the bleaching agents there, and basic practice and modern innovation. Nowadays it is how it was used and it was given an advantages, what are all the advantages, what are all the disadvantages, what are the environmental considerations, what we have to mainly consider. First one is enzymatic bleaching, which is affecting the environment, how we have to treat those chemical related solutions. Next one is ozone treatment, and then plasma technology. So how we can reduce the usage of water and how we can done the bleaching in a best way. we have to check with that. Thank you.